In this lesson, we're going to be looking at compound paths and clipping masks. So first, let's start with compound paths. So, in some of the previous videos, we've been looking at creating shapes and then selecting those shapes and using the Pathfinder palette and the Unite function, merging these shapes together like so. But what happens if we want these to be part of the same shape, but they don't touch or overlap in any way? So if I select both of these shapes, and I'll go over here and just click anywhere on the gradient. So you'll see it applies the gradient to each circle individually. So what if I want the gradient to run from one side to the other through both of these circles? That's where compound paths come in handy. So if I select both of these circles and holding Shift to drag straight up and Alt to create a copy, there we go. And now if I select them both again and go to Object, Compound Path, when I click Make, this is going to make both circles effectively one shape, even though we see them as two different shapes. So now you can see that the gradient runs through both of them. So if I select the right-hand circle with the direct selection tool and drag it closer, you'll see that it doesn't actually let me, because now it's recognized as one single shape, whereas before I could drag these around individually. This is now part of the same shape. So similarly, this could work the same with text. So if I just create a piece of text here, make it bold, and let's bring it up in size. And what I'm going to do is go to Type and Create Outlines. So now our text isn't text anymore, it's effectively a shape. And then I'm going to select it, and then I'm going to go to the Gradient palette, and I'm going to click the gradient. Okay, so you can see now it's done the same thing. It's applied the gradient individually to each letter, and that's not what we want. For this example, I want to run the gradient from black through to the light grey white on the other side of the whole word. So what we do is we just select our text, we go to Object, Ungroup. So now each of the letters are individually grouped rather than being grouped together as a word. And we go to Object, Compound Path, and click Make. And as you can see now, the text runs from the black on the right hand side through to the white, lighter grey colour on the left. And if you try with the Direct Select tool and individually select a letter, you'll again remember that it's effectively now one shape rather than being separate parts of a shape. And you can click it, go to Object, Compound Path, and Release. And when you do release compound paths, you do need to be careful, because you will sometimes get little oddities like this, which you can just click and then delete, but then it will delete it from the letter itself. So you've got to be careful. Although what you can do is, if you want to return this text to how it was, so with the this part of the E being cut out so you can see the white through from the background, what you do is you simply select the inside, you select the outside as well, you go up to the Pathfinder palette and you click -back here. So this is the second one in on the top row. Okay? And that will effectively punch out that shape from the shape behind. And then we've got our text back to as we had it before. Okay, so now let's take a look at clipping masks. We're going to go to File, Place, and we're going to select our photo. And using the Scale tool, let's just bring that down so we can see it on screen. Okay. So now I'm going to select the Ellipse tool, and holding Shift, I'm going to create a circle. Let's just fill it with black for now. And I want this circle to be in the very center of the image. So So we can simply select both of these, and we've got our align options along the top here, and we've also got them on the right. And I want to click on this one, horizontal align center, and then vertical align center. So now this circle is right in the middle of our image. Okay, now we're going to create our clipping mask. The shape that you want the image to be at the end needs to be on top. So I want this image to appear inside this circle shape. So I've got my circle on top. I will select both the image and the shape. I'll then go to Object, Clipping Mask, and click Make. Okay, so now you can see that the photograph is inside the circle itself. But what if I want to adjust the crop? Well, easy. We can just double click the image and then go inside, and you can drag this around as necessary. And you'll see up here it moves inside the group. So you can go back, and it's remembered the adjustment to the crop. And again, you can double click, you can go back in, you can straighten the crop back up, and then again you can click back and back again. Okay, and that's a little bit about compound paths and clipping masks in Adobe Illustrator.